live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
A very good Sunday Funday, everyone. Great to have you with us here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, as the lovely Kira Clapper there just mentioned. You can catch Kira Clapper on ABC 7 just about every single day of the week in San Francisco. Patty Pyburn joining me by my side. You can catch Patty Pyburn on your local CBS or Fox affiliate if you live in Santa Cruz, Monterey, San Luis Obispo, or Santa Barbara counties.
Indeed.
It's a mouthful. A lot of counties there. It is St. Patrick's Day, so I will spare you the pretend Irish brogue.
Okay.
But who knows? Maybe I'll throw some down a little bit later. At any rate, we certainly hope that you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. The weather seems to be shaping up nicely.
It's really
for it.
pretty. Wherever
you might be in California, it's supposed to be a terrific day. And I am wearing green. Patty forgot.
I forgot.
Patty always forgets.
I do. And then when I got to downtown San Luis Obispo, where we're located here, and I saw the college students wearing green, hitting the bars at 6 a.m., I realized, oh, right. Should have worn something green.
You know, I like to point my finger at these big groups of college students that are walking past and seem so, like, oh, can you believe it? The way that they're running in packs and they're already drinking at 6 a.m.
Right. What are they doing?
Let's turn back the clock to 1989 and where we are broadcasting from right now, this very moment, just beneath us and maybe 20 yards north, is where McCarthy's
old location.
Their old location. McCarthy's is a very popular Irish pub.
You probably never went there before, did you?
I did.
a few times?
I did. And in fact, everything behind, if you're watching our video simulcast right now at eatdrinkexplore.com, everything behind me was a parking lot. It's now buildings. Yeah. And so I remember we parked right behind me here and we got in the line because there was a line forming at 6 a.m. for the St. Patrick's, and then that's about all I remember from that day. All right, good Sunday Funday, everyone. You have arrived at California's #1 place to talk about current trends in food, beverages, travel, and tourism. It's our goal to give you the tools you need to enjoy life's pleasures in a healthy, sustainable, and community-focused manner. All right, straight ahead on this hour of the program, we are taking a look at a new, very simple, as a matter of fact, nutritional value system. It's a numbering system from 1 to 100 called NuVal, and it makes it easy if you're not really up on your nutrition and you don't know which foods or which processed foods even are better for you. This just basically, if it's like an 80 or 90 or even 100.
So it's a scoring system that simplifies your choices.
Greatly simplifies it.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll talk with the general manager of NuVal is the name of it. Short for nutritional value, I think. And then a San Francisco company is turning profits from the sale of nutritional energy bars into food for the world's hungry children. It's a great organization. They're called 2 Degrees Bars. Their ingredients are pretty awesome, right on track with everything that's in trend right now. And then for every bar you buy, one meal goes to feed a child.
Very cool.
Very cool. We'll speak with the company's co-founder. Our travel and tourism segment has us on a culinary tour of Ireland. Celebrity chef Noel McMeal, a good Italian guy, joins us. He's the featured chef at a resort in Ireland where the next G8 summit is meeting. So he'll be cooking for the world's top leaders this coming June.
Very cool.
That is cool. Then next hour, we're learning all about Rhone varietals here in California. We'll speak with a group known as the Rhone Rangers. And we'll round out the show with a stop at the Monterey Bay Aquarium's refurbished and soon-to-open otter exhibit.
Ooh, very nice.
And if you haven't watched our video simulcast in the past,
you otter
this time. Oh, Patty. You want to log on to our website, eatdrinkexplore.com, for this one. There are some incredibly cute pictures coming your way. But right now, it is time to check in with the lovely, the talented Patty Pyburn for a check of what's making headlines. Patty?
Well, Randall, this morning from the Eat, Drink, Explore news desk on this lovely Sunday and St. Patty's Day, drinking one, or better yet, several cups of either coffee or green tea each day can reduce your risk for having a stroke. Now, this is according to new research published by the American Heart Association. Researchers in Japan found those who drink 4 cups of green tea per day cut their risk by 20%. And for coffee drinkers, the same effect was found with just 1 cup. That's nice to know.
Yeah.
The most recent look at the benefits of coffee and tea bolsters a series of recent studies showing beneficial side effects of the 2 beverages rich in antioxidants. Now, you may remember a trend back in the 80s when people were trying to avoid drinking coffee because of its perceived negative health effects. There was that commercial. I don't know if it was the same time frame, but I always think of that commercial where the guy's jittery. Did you have too much coffee today?
Oh, yeah. All right. No, I remember
right?
that. Yeah.
Now, according to NPR, the reason for this is because coffee, drinking, and smoking were closely connected back then, and that skewed the research.
You know, I can remember telling my parents to stop drinking so much coffee and being really adamant about it, you know, and now when I look back,
for them.
I think I was going with the current research at
You
the
should
time.
have been telling them to stop smoking. No.
I'm one of the rare for my parents' generation. My mom's never had a cigarette, you know, and that's really rare. All of her friends, every single one of them smoked.
It's amazing the mindset that has changed concerning smoking.
Yeah.
Well, just last Sunday on this very program, Randall, we interviewed California Department of Water Resources about our state's current situation, and the twin tunnel water diversion system was mentioned. That would alleviate some of the environmental problems surrounding the sensitive Delta region. Now, on Thursday, state officials began releasing documents detailing what is known as the Bay Delta Conservation Plan. It's estimated to cost $14 billion. The project's goal is to protect the state's water supply from future earthquakes, floods, sea level rise, in addition to native fish species. And we had a little preview of some of that.
That was just accidental good timing. Is that known as serendipity?
Yes. That is very serendipitous.
And so it was just one of these things where I was like, I wonder what the water situation's like.
You were on it.
Let's book them. And then just days later, this big giant plan gets released.
All right. So what's in a name? Well, apparently a lot. Yes. When it comes to a list of the top 20 fastest selling new wine brands in the U.S., as listed by Wines and Vines magazine, quite different from past decades when elegant and foreign-sounding brands were king. I remember that.
Yes.
Well, the current number one, this surprised me, with nearly $5 million in sales for 2012, is California's Skinny Girl wine.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yes, I wouldn't have guessed that.
I wonder who they're marketing to.
That's a really good question.
Right.
Well, other catchy top brands include Wine Sisterhood, Ooh La La, Butterfly Kiss, Curious Beasts, and Insomnia.
Huh.
Interesting. Okay. Well, 3 out of 4 best-selling new brands are from California, and there is definitely a trend toward targeting women.
Yeah.
I think they know what they're doing.
I think they do too.
Yes.
Right.
Who is at home or who's at the store bringing home the wine? All right. So weather on this St. Patrick's Day, plenty of sunshine to go around.
Yeah.
Mild temperatures as well across the state of California. The warmest spot in the state looks like it's right here in San Luis Obispo with an expected high of 79 today. Sacramento, Los Angeles in the 70s. San Francisco and Santa Cruz in the mid-60s. And can I say it enough? Lots of sunshine.
Lots and lots of sunshine.
Tuesday, though.
Rain.
Watch out for the rain.
We need it. We need more. Speaking
Yes.
of California's water. All right, stick around, everyone. An easy way to know your nutrition right after the break. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to caluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Yo, what's up? This is the Black Eyed Peas, and we're here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Music is one of the most important things in our lives, but nothing is more important than life itself. So when you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road. Don't plan to drive, just plan ahead.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
The traditional light bulb, a groundbreaking invention in 1879. Other groundbreaking ideas at that time, the whalebone corset, the pedal-operated submarine, and the two-story outhouse. We've come a long way since then. It's time our light bulbs did the same. Visit EnergySavers.gov and learn about energy-saving light bulbs. See, these new bulbs are more efficient than the old ones, like a text message is more efficient than a carrier pigeon. They last longer, too, like how we humans last longer now that doctors use antibiotics instead of leeches. And they cut down on our energy costs, because in our own groundbreaking age of aeroplanes and moving pictures, we deserve a light bulb that saves us some cash. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Very good St. Patrick's Day morning to you. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn here on the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. Great to have you with us. And a top of the morning to you.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
Yeah. I'm wearing my green Kale It's What's for Dinner shirt.
Love it.
It's made out of organic bamboo.
Okay.
And a portion of the proceeds go to marriage equality. So our
Very
friend
nice.
Anthony bought a bunch of shirts for all of us. And I looked into the closet this morning and I thought, hey, wait. That's green.
That's perfect for today.
Yeah, and kale, it's nice and nutritious. And so I thought...
you can embrace that shirt.
I can embrace that shirt, and that's what I'm wearing. So I'm nice and green. Patty forgot this morning, so she's in sort of a white and gray striped
I am in
top.
danger of being pinched. I don't have anything green on.
Look out.
Oh my gosh.
Well, good morning, everyone. We're certainly glad you can join us. And the topic this segment, this is always our health and nutrition segment, but the topic this time around is a new numbering system that you may soon see at a grocery store near you. It's called NuVal, and that's N-U and then V-A-L, short for, I'm assuming, nutritional value. And it's a very, very simple 0 to 100, or I guess 1 to 100 numbering system. The higher the number, the more nutritious the food. And joining us on the line right now to talk a little bit about it is NuVal's General Manager, Mike Nugent. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the program.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. And by the way, your shirt scores 100.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I like that. I thought the same. That's why I grabbed it this morning. So, Mike, how do you, well, first of all, who came up with the system?
David Katz is a researcher, a medical doctor out in Connecticut. He had attended a USDA meeting with Tommy Thompson, and he decided that what the country needed was nutrition for dummies, as he initially called it, and assembled 12 very esteemed people from the American Cancer Society, the American Diabetic Society, and they came up with this algorithm.
I've interviewed Tommy Thompson many, many times because I used to be a news anchor in Wisconsin when he was governor.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I know him well. Well, it seems really simple. And so which aspects drag down a score, and then which ones help elevate it?
Well, the drag down the scores are, the traditional 5: saturated fat, trans fat, sodium, and sugar, and cholesterol. We weigh those, though, so that, trans fat is much more nefarious from a health aspect than, say, cholesterol. So while those are the 5, there is a rank order to them, and we even distinguish between added sugars and intrinsic sugar.
Oh.
Intrinsic sugar is part of typically an ingredient. Added sugar is your 5-fructose corn syrup family, and evaporated cane juice, or whatever other names they come up with it. On the positive side, again, the same kind of thing. There's a weighting going on because, not getting enough fiber means that you probably overconsume calories, and you only get about 65% of the fiber that you normally need. So we weigh that one quite high. Iron is another nutrient we have, but it's weighed less. It tends to be more female population oriented, and it results, fiber can help you with weight control. Iron helps you with anemia. So there's going to be a difference there in how we view products because of that weighting.
So, Mike, it sounds like on the user side, it's quite simplistic, but on the development side, it sounds like it's pretty complex what went into creating the numbering system. I noticed on the front page of your new Val website a picture of a jar of applesauce, which is low, like a 4, and an apple, which was high, I think, 96. So it seems really simplistic way to help people make good choices.
It is. The basis, and I think the chart you were talking about, I believe we had juice is about a 4 or 6, applesauce is in the 20s, and an apple is 96. Obviously, as you more process the food, you more lose nutrients. But it is an easy system because our belief is people are not going to stop eating frozen pizza and start eating fruit. But there are a lot of differences in the pizza aisle. There are very low sodium, low fat pizzas. There are pizzas that have 1,150 milligrams of sodium in them, which is functionally half the amount of sodium you should consume. So it was made simple so that people could trade up incrementally, because we know that incremental behavioral changes are more sustainable.
That's true.
Right. What happens, Mike, if every single week here on the show during our news segment, Patty reads some sort of study. This morning it happened to be about coffee and tea helping you avoid strokes. What happens when a new study comes out that might affect the overall nutritional value of one of the food items you've already scored? How do you go about adjusting that number at so many different stores?
There's kind of 2 parts to that. Rarely is a single study going to be accepted by the academic community as something people should act on. So it's going to have to be a repeated set of studies. Now, we've known for a while with tea, the antioxidant value of tea is quite strong, and that we take that into account in our scoring. But from a tactical standpoint, if you go back in time and you talk about trans fat, it took almost 2 years of study for trans fats to finally become an FDA regulation. We can easily amend our algorithm in that period of time. Once new scores are posted, it takes between 30 and 60 days for a retailer to repost the score and get a known score, a new updated score on the shelf.
So that's interesting. Art, do you think that food producers are going to want that score and see that as something that makes their food marketable, especially, I guess, if they get a higher score, they're going to be seeking that out?
We're trying to find those guys. The grocery manufacturers are not overwhelming for any third party to evaluate their food.
Okay.
But you have signed up with a few national chain stores that are embracing this. I believe here in California, is it Raley's where you can find the score?
Absolutely. Raley's is a super partner of ours. We have 19 retail chains are adopting this system. Kroger has adopted it for King Soopers in Denver, which is a pretty leading-edge market, as is San Francisco.
I just have to stop you quickly. My very first canvas shopping bag that I ever owned in my entire life, I bought in 1990 at a King Soopers in Boulder, Colorado. Yeah.
You know, between the kale shirt and getting that bag, you guys are right there.
Thank you, Mike.
I wish the rest of the population could catch up with you. Maybe the radio show will help get you there.
Yeah.
But the retail grocery stores have been perceived in several studies that we've seen as being a trusted source for nutrition. Mm-hmm. Manufacturers haven't been. So this fits perfectly in line with their mission. They want to make a health and wellness statement. They want to take a health and wellness position.
And you've kept yourself independent from any food producers, right?
Yes, absolutely. We will not take any funding from them unless it's to score their foods, and that's just to cover the cost. But we don't take any advertising. There aren't any, specific sort of development partnerships. It's unfortunately one of the largest revenue streams in the retail grocery industry, and we've said, you can't run a system and be independent and also be in the pocket of a manufacturer.
Yeah, seems like common sense. So again, back to your website, which I think is a really cool place that people should check out. We have it linked, right, Randall?
We do. It's very easy, newval.com, yeah.
So I see there's a page where you can look up the scores, see what you're eating, see what your choices are. So it's all very easy. And I noticed, too, that if you're just getting something like, a sweet potato, that's scoring higher than something that is processed food. So it's very simple and intuitive.
It's what we keep hearing.
Yeah.
The more real the food, the better.
Right.
Yep.
But so here's a question. Sure. What about organics or genetically modified food? Does this factor into those scores? Is that...
Well, remember we talked about the studies. There was one study that was done that suggested that the nutrient density of organic foods might be better.
Right.
But not enough information that we're willing to say that we're going to differentiate between organics and non-organics. There has to be more and repeated studies.
More science.
There are also some studies that say that it isn't more nutritious.
Okay.
Right. So Mike Nugent with I almost called him Mike Newval. Mike Nugent with Newval, NUVAL.com is how you find him on the web. Mike, thank you for joining us this morning. We'll be looking for those numbers.
Thank you. I hope to get them out there to you.
All right, stick around, everyone. We'll be talking about nutritious food bars that help feed the world's hungry children. Straight ahead. Some of California's best restaurants, hotels, and homes are perched on steep hillsides with incredible views. But those buildings weren't just thrown there. They were placed on foundations designed and perfected by experts. Throughout much of the Bay Area, those hillside foundations were placed by S.S. Caveney Construction. With nearly 3 decades of experience dealing with the steepest and most difficult terrain, S.S. Caveney Construction is well known for being the go-to company when quality is your number one concern. Hillsides in California, as you know, are prone to drainage issues that can lead to erosion and slippage. S.S. Caveney Construction will solve those problems for you. Get a quote today by contacting the team you need. Head to S.S. Caveney, that's CAVENEY.com, and get your foundation placed correctly the first time.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
What if it wasn't always about getting ahead? What if you didn't care about being on the fast track? What if your career goals were to change? Instead of flying off to the big interview, what if you flew somewhere else altogether? To embark on a different track, to volunteer in ways you never dreamed of, in places you never imagined yourself being. Like a tiny island in the Pacific, barely visible on a map, but where needs are easy to see. Or a village on the African continent, where just a little training in HIV awareness can change the fate of thousands. What if you decided to share your skills with others and help someone else get ahead? Peace Corps. Life is calling. How far will you go? To find out more, call 800-424-8580 or visit peacecorps.gov.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. And a very good morning, everyone. 8:33 now the time on this Sunday, Funday, St. Patrick's Day morning. Everyone's a little bit Irish today, all right, Patty?
Of course we are.
Now, Patty Pyburn, I'm guessing you have a little bit of Irish in your heritage.
We have a little bit of most all European, a little mix. German, a little Scotch, a little French, a little English, all this smattering.
Mix, yeah.
But on my dad's side of the family, they were pretty much 100% Scottish.
Yeah.
So on that side, it was a little more concentrated.
I think our lineage is Scots-Irish, I think is how I've heard it bantered about.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, my parents are listening, and
they're all Irish today, probably, right?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Well, I know for sure my mom's father was like 100% Scots-Irish or Irish or something along those lines.
Yes.
I don't know. And I know when I was a kid, my dad told us we should be wearing orange, not green.
Oh,
because I think orange.
Does that signify something?
I think it's a religious thing, Catholic versus Protestant.
Okay.
But since none of the second graders at my school knew what that was all about, I wore green. So, at any rate, great to have you with us here on this St. Patrick's Day. And it is our business segment, and we really love to highlight businesses that have a higher purpose. That's our whole goal here at Eat, Drink, Explore Radio, to put you in touch with these sorts of organizations. And this morning, we want to introduce you to 2 Degrees Food, TWO, the number 2, Degrees Food. These wonderful energy bars that have everything you're hearing about nowadays, the superfoods, all mixed in.
All rolled into one.
And so you really want to eat them just for that purpose?
Because they're good for us, good for you personally.
Exactly. And for every bar you buy, a meal is served to a hungry child throughout the world.
So they're good for us and they're good for the world.
Lauren Walters is the co-founder of 2 Degrees Food and joins us on the line right now. Good morning, Lauren.
Good morning, Randall. It's nice to be with you.
Yes, well, as soon as I saw this online, I thought we have to have him on the show to talk a little bit about it. I'm wondering, how did this company get started? You're a co-founder, so I imagine somebody else was involved.
Well, that's right. My partner, Will Hauser, who grew up in Northern California in Marin County, he actually was an old family friend. I'm 61, and Will's 27, but we started the company 4 years ago. And so it's really this intergenerational company. The company started really because of a visit I'd made to Rwanda, where I saw hungry and undernourished kids, and recognized that it wasn't a matter of knowing what to do, but having enough supply, having enough meals to feed undernourished and severely malnourished kids. And so that really triggered our starting the company, and we launched the company in January of 2011. First started selling our bars then.
You know, Lauren, when I think of your company's structure, I think of, you've heard of those Kickstarter campaigns, right, where if you donate a little bit of money, you get something in return. I think about that because basically you're donating money to help feed these children, and you're getting something really cool in return, these very nutritional bars.
Well, that's right. I think the idea behind 2 Degrees is that every time a person buys one of our bars, and it's a regular purchase, all of us buy food all the time. We buy it in where we work, we buy it in colleges, we buy it in high schools, we buy it in grocery stores, we buy it in convenience stores. And so the big idea behind 2 Degrees is that it can become a habit. You can do something good for yourself, you can buy a healthy bar, and at the same time, every time you're doing something good for yourself, you can help another person.
Yeah, that's really amazing. So I want to hear more about what's in the bars, but I also have another question that, so what does this mean for these kids? What do they get? Do they get granola bars? What are you providing for them on the other side of this?
So that's a good question. So we donate meals in the United States through Feeding America. We donate hot lunches in India through Akshaya Patra. We donate specially formulated nutrition packs in Malawi and Haiti through Partners in Health. And so what the child gets who's hungry is different in different places, and it fills a gap in the meals they have.
Well, that makes sense that you're tailoring it for what fits that community. That makes it even sound better to me. So now, what do we get if we buy a bar? What's in them? They look really good, but I on your website, but I haven't gotten that far as the ingredients. So tell us what's in the bars.
Well, they're all natural. They're gluten-free. They're vegan. We have 4 flavors now, and we're going to add other products as this year goes on. But the flavors we have now are apple pecan, cherry almond, chocolate peanut, and chocolate banana.
Those sound terrific. I gotta say, I haven't tried one yet. You're based in San Francisco, right?
We are. Our office is on Harrison Street in Soma.
And so San Francisco, of course, right here in California, just about everything you named on that list outside of the chocolate can be sourced relatively locally. Do you try to do that as well?
We try and source everything as locally as we can. And the other important thing is that the meals that we donate, they're sourced locally. So we don't ship food from the United States to India or Malawi or Kenya or Haiti. We buy the meals through the nonprofits that we work with in those countries, because it really is about breaking the cycle of poverty and generating jobs locally. So that's an important principle for 2 Degrees.
A really well thought out system on a lot of levels. Now, like I said, I'm on your website, and I noticed that there's another option, and I think that there are people out here who would like this option, where you can just do this virtual bar. You're not actually ordering the bar. You just instantly make a donation that feeds a child. I think that is a really cool aspect as well. Do you see people taking advantage of that option?
We do. We see people buying our bars in a range of places. I mean, the idea of buying a virtual bar and giving a meal is a kind of habit. You can do good and do good for yourself by the act of giving. But we think it's so important that people can buy regularly online, and then they can buy in stores all over the United States, wherever they live. So we're sold in every Whole Foods store in the country. We're sold in Pharmaca. We're sold in sports basement stores. and then we're sold in big companies. And around the Bay Area, we're provided in Zynga and Twitter and Facebook, and in every HP, every Hewlett-Packard location around the United States.
Oh,
wow,
you mean
that's so cool.
Where the employees would eat, you have it's available to buy there.
Absolutely.
I get it. Okay.
Really cool. So, and every time, no matter where you're buying it, that donation triggers then when you...
Absolutely. It's one for one. And the reason we think having bars available in as many locations as possible, I mean, they're sold in on college campuses all over the country. They're sold in high schools, is that we think people really want to help. And we think it's about creating a habit for people. And it's the habit of giving. And it's the habit of doing something good for yourself and doing something good for another person.
You know, Lauren,
that's what 2 Degrees is all about.
What I like about your business model is not only are you helping the nutrition standards of children outside of the United States and around the world, but by providing these bars in schools and such,
it's a healthy option here as well.
It's far better than a lot of the food that they can get on the go through a vending machine or what have you. You know, better than I don't want to name Snickers or Milky Way or something like that, but to grab one of these bars is just so far superior.
Well, there are even some companies that are offering 2 Degrees bars in vending machines.
Good.
So both in schools and companies. We're in every AOL location around the country in their vending machines, so employees there can choose a healthy option.
So, Lauren, I have to also just point out, I'm sure you obviously have thought about this, but it just occurs to me, these bars are not expensive, which means if I buy a bar and that's a snack for me and a meal for a child somewhere else in the world, it really doesn't cost that much to help feed people. That is really something that a little light bulb went off, bing, that's not very expensive to do.
Well, that's why changing your habits about the food you buy is so important. That's why we're working on new products that will be under the 2 Degrees brand, because we think that if there are a range of products that where you have options to buy, when you go into your grocery store, as you walk through the aisles, my dream is that a few years from now you'll have choices, whether it's yogurt or whether it's granola or whether it's water or a whole range of products.
Along the Paul Newman lines?
Exactly.
I like that because I have to admit, I've purchased Paul Newman products in the past based on the fact that a portion of the proceeds go to charity, and they're typically quality products. And if 2 Degrees had this same sort of thing going on,
you would make that choice as well then.
Absolutely. What a great idea. You guys are really smart.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. Why didn't anyone else think of this before? But that's really smart.
We think the people who are smart are consumers, you know. We think the people who are smart are the ones who say, I can help another person. And I want to do that, and I just haven't had an easy way to do it. And this is an easy way. You don't have to write a check to a charity. It's not an occasional thing.
Right.
It's because we all want to do it all the time, and here's a way of doing it.
And by changing your habit for what you eat, you know, your little snack and those sorts of things, your hiking grub that you grab to go up the mountain, whatever it might be, make it 2 Degrees. And it's so easy to find. 2 Degrees Food. Let's see, 2degreesfood.com, right? Singular on the food?
That's 2degreesfood.com.
Okay,
That's it.
Excellent. Lauren Walters, co-founder of 2 Degrees Food. Please say hello to your fellow co-founder. I'm a fellow born and raised Marinite, and so that makes me happy to know that one of the co-founders came from there. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we'll keep in touch with you and update our listeners as your product line grows.
Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure.
All right, stick around, everyone. You are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn. We're back in a moment. We're headed to Ireland, culinary style.
Ooh.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, Farmers Market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Seems everybody's going organic, including lawn care. Did you know communities across the country are converting their lawns, playgrounds, and playing fields to an organic care program? And it's working. You can safely control weeds and pests and have a beautiful lawn. Your kids, pets, and water supplies will be safer, and your neighbors will be green with envy. Oh, and in the long run, organic lawn care is cheaper than doing it the conventional way. Switch to organic lawn care today. Visit pesticidefreelawns.org. The folks who brought you this public service message. Check out pesticidefreelawns.org today.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
You've waited all week, and it's finally here. The Eat, Drink, Explore Weekly Travel Deals Extravaganza.
Extravaganza, indeed. It is St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Great to have you with us. 8:49 the time. I'm your host, Randall White, joined by Patty Pyburn.
Good morning.
Both of us with a little Irish. Well, everyone's a little Irish today.
Right, everyone is today.
But we genetically are actually a little bit Irish, which is always fun. Not that it really matters.
So we just have to celebrate St. Patrick's Day today. It's in our genetic code.
It is in our genetic code. So at the last moment on, was it yesterday or... It was either yesterday or it was Friday. We had a cancellation for our travel and tourism segment. We were going to do a thing on traveling with your dog.
Oh,
and
okay.
And we will have the guy on in the future. He had a family emergency.
Okay.
And so I said, absolutely, no, don't worry about it. Go deal with what you need to
of course.
deal with. And so, but the Travel Ireland people were discoverireland.com. the travel and tourism arm of the country of Ireland. We're like, we're on it. We'd love to, because I thought, hey, it's St. Patrick's Day. So let's do a little exploration of Ireland. And they hooked us up with Chef Noel McMeal. He is the executive chef at a resort that I am not sure how to pronounce. It's Rhone? E-R-N-E?
That sounds good. I don't know.
I don't even know how to say the name of the town. It's Vermont, Ireland. Anyway, it's going to be home to the G8 summit this coming June. He's staying at a hotel in New York, and we can't get in touch with him.
Oh, no.
He does have, that we're going to try now, a cell phone, an international cell phone number that our producer Cora is going to work on.
To see if we can get in touch with him.
But in the meantime,
yes,
I have a list of... So early in the week, last week, I asked our Facebook followers, if you just go to facebook.com/eatdrinkexplore, I asked them, of the different Irish pubs you've been to in California, which one do you like the best? And people were more than happy to... sound off on it.
Okay.
And so we can take the time now to give you, our listeners' picks for the best places to go this coming, or not this coming, but today, St. Patrick's Day. I just have to find the list here. I'm having a hard time finding it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So, let's see if I just click here. I guess I don't need to be so verbal about what I'm doing, but
click here. Click here. Randall's multitasking.
So a number of people, there's a little town called Orchid, which is technically a part of the Central Coast town of Santa Maria. And they have a new Irish pub called Rooney's.
Right.
They're in Orchid. And boy, I got a lot of people that jumped on it and said...
And they said that's the place to go.
You have to go there. I haven't been there yet, so I'm not sure. Our friend Donatella Morgan, I used to work with her as a traffic reporter in San Francisco. She says she loves the Nutty Irishman in Santa Rosa on Piner. It helped that it was the corner bar from where I was working at the time.
Okay.
So
proximity.
Proximity has everything to do with it, right?
Location.
Christine Ann Cunningham says that there will be a new Irish place opening in Solvang, of all places, because the Taste of Solvang is going on today, by the way.
Yes, it is.
And but Solvang's not an Irish town.
It is not an Irish town, but I could see them, sure, the more the merrier. I could see them embracing a little bit of Irish flavor there.
They're what, Danish?
Danish.
Yeah, Danish in Solvang, and now you can get your Irish on in...
as well.
In Solvang, but that's not opening yet. Keep your eyes open, though, for that one. And then I recommended some places that I like to go. I like the Starry Plow in Berkeley.
Okay.
O'Reilly's Irish Pub and Restaurant in San Francisco was just a stone's throw from my old home. I lived in North Beach, and it's right there in North Beach, and so I would walk down there on St. Patrick's Day. And then Rosie McCann's Irish Pub and Restaurant. They have two locations, one in San Jose and one in Santa Cruz. All these places make my Irish eyes a-smiling. Joe Seals, a regular listener to the show here, named a number of places. Jameson's in L.A., the Phoenix Bar in San Francisco. I have not been there. Also, Napper Tandy in San Francisco. I have been there, and I love it. Murphy's in Sonoma. The Field in San Diego. The Stout Public House in San Diego. Dargan's in Santa Barbara and Ventura. And the James Joyce in Santa Barbara. Oh, I've been there.
Now, I feel like there was a pub in, when I used to work up in the Monterey area, I feel like there was a pub in Carmel or Pebble Beach that had quite a reputation.
Oh, maybe one of our listeners can let us in on the location of that. You can sound off, actually, on our Facebook page.
Cannot think of the name of it.
Or you can tweet it to us if you go to if you're one of those. Go to twitter.com/eatdrinkexplore, or you could just do the @ sign at eatdrinkexplore and say, hey, we really prefer this place or that place. Our friends at the Sea Rock Inn in Mendocino. If you've never been to Mendocino, highly recommend it. Beautiful coastal town on the north coast. Pardon me, the north coast. They tell us Patterson's Pub is a great place.
Okay.
And I have to tell you, I've been to Patterson's. I went there for dinner one night, and it's very Irish. It's very comforting. That whole, lots of wood.
Yes, cozy, warm.
Lots of things on tap, which is perfect for Mendocino because their weather can tend to the wet and overcast side.
Right. So you want something warm and cozy.
Right. Our friend Sarah Rhone in San Francisco, very, very dear friend of mine, suggested the Plough. Is it the Plough or the Plough? Plough. I always say Plough.
Plough.
The Plough and Stars in San Francisco. I've been there on a St. Patrick's Day 20 years ago, I want to say. Lots of great places. And then we're here in San Luis Obispo. We mentioned earlier today that McCarthy's is probably the place to go. They, you know, it's funny. Bars all over the place always say that they sell more of one thing or the other than any other place in the country. McCarthy's will tell you that they sell more Jameson.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just find that hard to believe. I've been to some really busy places. I have nothing to substantiate that claim, but they say it. So if you want to go to the place that sells more Jameson,
that's the place.
At least the rumor is where it is sort of in San Luis where the professionals go.
Yes. You know, next week is finals week for the Cal Poly college students here in San Luis Obispo.
Oh, because they're on the quarter system.
Yeah. So I don't know if this is like letting off a little pressure before finals or just a bad choice. I'm not sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, wherever you might be listening right now, you may have seen it as well. A lot of people celebrated St. Patrick's Day last night.
I feel like it's been a 3-day, so Friday. I teach part-time at Cal Poly in the journalism department, and just listening in on the students planning for the weekend ahead, for a lot of them, it started Friday.
Yeah.
So
and then went into Saturday, and I was surprised to see so many students up at 6 o'clock this morning.
Exactly.
I thought, it's going to be a whimper of a day today, but no, not at all. Well, I'm sorry we never got to speak with Chef Noel McMeal of the Lao Ern Resort, but I'm sure he would have made a great guest.
Yeah.
Maybe he started celebrating St. Patrick's Day last night, if you know what I mean. All right, stick around, everyone. We have a whole hour coming up. Some fantastic guests are on the way. We'll learn all about Rhone varietals here in California from the Rhone Rangers. And then we're taking a trip to the Monterey Bay Aquarium to learn all about the new sea otter exhibit. Not new, refurbished.
Yes.
Redone. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. Great to have you with us, everyone. Back in just a moment. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break, and we'll be back on the air shortly. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break. We will be back shortly. Get the latest audio, video, and breaking news from Eat, Drink, Explore Media by following us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We're easy to find. The URL extension for all of those sites is simply Eat, Drink, Explore. Thank you for your patience. The Eat, Drink, Explore radio show is currently in a local commercial break, and we'll be back on the air shortly.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Good morning, everyone. 9 o'clock straight up on this beautiful San Luis Obispo St. Patrick's Day morning. And let me tell you, boy, are the people out already on the streets of San Luis Obispo.
Yes, they are.
Our studio just happens to be directly above Higuera Street in the downtown, and we have seen swarms. I guess that's the best way to put it. Swarms.
That's pretty good.
Of
green swarms.
Yeah, I'm just going to say Cal Poly aged, because we don't know that they could be Cuesta. They could not even be in college.
Right.
But Cal Poly aged adults headed toward their nearest watering hole.
Yes.
Most likely McCarthy's or any number of the other places people hit.
One of the pubs.
I do want to say that earlier in the week, well, I guess this is the first day of the week. So last week,
yes,
I was contacted by the owner of the Sloco Pastico, which is there on Choro, across from the Mission. And she just wanted to remind me that they do have all sorts of Irish specials today, even though their specialty comes from, Cornwall? I think it's a Cornish dish. But it's all UK.
The pasties.
Yeah. And they definitely have an Irish flair there. And it's a fun place to go. And we like it. It's locally owned.
It's yummy.
It's yummy. You can eat. Good food. And they have, if I remember from last year, and I assume they'll do it the same way this year, they have pasties that are stuffed with corned beef and cabbage.
They had the Irish version, yes.
So it's a little twist on it, you know?
Yeah, good stuff.
I like that. Hey, this hour of Eat, Drink, Explore Radio is brought to you by Eberly Winery in Paso Robles. And finally, after a year of their sponsoring the show, I was able to carve out some time on our Sunday afternoon to head up there and enjoy their beautiful surroundings. I feel bad that it took me a year to
get there.
It just seems like there's always something going on. Yeah. And so, Eberly means small wild boar. Right? Yeah, and that's B-O-A-R.
Yes. Not boring, but boar.
And so you see lots of pigs everywhere you are.
Yeah, that's their trademark.
Yeah, and it's just so much fun. I have to tell you,
it was a blast.
They have on a day like today, their whole operation is set up to enjoy the sunshine.
And what wonderful weather we enjoyed last weekend, and this weekend, if you're out there, should be beautiful.
Complimentary tours, including the cave tours. They have this labyrinth of caves that are underneath the winery.
It was so educational to hear, all the explanation for what's done there. I thought it was great.
Yeah, and complimentary tasting too. And the wines I sampled were delicious. Absolutely delicious. And friendly beyond belief, the people doing the pouring. And they do, it's not one of those snooty wineries. They don't make you feel...
A very comfortable atmosphere. And that in the caves, there was that tasting area for the little private gatherings. And then they had the bigger event room where there was something was going on. What a cool place.
I would love to host some sort of a birthday party or retirement, that sort of thing, in down below there in the caves. It was all
cool.
Candlelight and,
very
within the caves. So you can... by the way, voted by Wine Spectator as one of the best tours on the Central Coast, and now I understand why. Eberly is located on Highway 46 East in Paso Robles. Very easy to find, right off the main thoroughfare there. You can log on to eberlywinery.com. That's E-B-E-R-L-E winery.com for more information. Do yourself a favor and just make it a one-stop place. Don't try to hit up a zillion different wineries.
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. Bring some snacks to enjoy on their patio, which is what we did. And...
It was a fun time.
Yeah, it was a good time. My sister the other day gave me a Hickory Farm.
Yes, she did. That came in very handy that afternoon.
And I thought, when am I going to use this? And
Thank you, Sue.
Yeah, we used it.
Yeah,
boy,
it was delicious.
I didn't think I was going to like it that much. I was scarfing it down. Delicious. Thank you, Sister Sue. All right, we're back in just a moment with some fantastic guests. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to caluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. caluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network.
Fabulous.
Live every Sunday with the very latest food, beverage, and travel trends.
Amazing.
Now here's the host of our show, Mr. Randall White.
Hey, good morning, everyone. 9:06 now the time on this Sunday Funday morning. And boy, put the F-U-N in Funday for today. It is St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, lots of fun to be had today.
St. Patrick's Day is one of those holidays that is strictly about having fun, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
There's nothing more to
There's no greater meaning beyond it.
No.
Just a celebration of the Irish culture, and a lot of that has to do with good food and good drink. So
right, and surrounding yourself with good family and good friends.
Yeah, good times. Yeah.
And good times. Good. Good heavens, we need to get to the show here, and great to have you joining us on California's #1 place to talk about food, wine, and travel trends. I am your host, Randall White, joined by the lovely and talented Patty Pyburn, who sits in my co-host chair week after week without any complaints. That I know of. Not to my face.
I curse you when the alarm goes off early Sunday mornings.
I curse myself when the alarm goes off. I'm like, it was my decision to do the show from 8 to 10.
Yes, it was.
Because part of it was I didn't want my whole Sunday.
Right. You could still have some day left in your day.
Yeah. But every Sunday when that alarm goes off, especially last weekend when we had that
the time change,
horrific time change, right? So, hey, coming up on this hour of the program, first of all, if you didn't catch the last hour, we had some terrific guests as well.
Yes.
The general manager of the Nuval system, that is Nuval. It's a numbering system, super simple, numbers 1 to 100, a basic 100 scale. That judges the nutritional value of everything from fresh produce to highly processed foods at your grocery store. So, Patty, I think the example you gave was the best one, where you had an apple that got like a 96.
Right.
And then compared to the applesauce, which was like in the 20s, and then apple juice, which got like a 4.
No, yeah, the applesauce was lower. I think that I'll have to look back. I think it was actually lower than that. But what surprised me about it was thinking, as a parent, I look at applesauce as a healthy treat, especially for the little ones.
Yeah.
And then you're thinking, wait.
Maybe not.
Just give them the apple.
You know, it probably is if you make it at home. And
that's true. It's the processed version.
The processed version, which, takes out a lot of the nutrient value of the applesauce. So anyway, you can find it at Rayleigh's stores currently in California, and they're trying to get on board at more stores, but a lot of supermarket chains don't, as the general manager said, don't like a third party coming in.
Right.
And telling everyone
so
the
their
nutritional
example
value.
On their website is a jar of Mott's applesauce, which is a really common.
Very common. We have one at home.
It gets a 4.
Ooh, okay.
Compared to a 96 for the actual apple.
Right. So then at the bottom of the hour, we spoke with the co-founder of that's TWO, 2 Degrees Food. And
what a great concept.
Great concept. You buy these very nutritious bars, like an energy bar type of thing. And for every bar you buy, a child is fed somewhere in the world. And you get to choose, if you order online, you get to choose where in the world this child will be fed. And, it's just there's so much to it. We can't get into it again, but check out.
It's really a cool idea.
Yeah, check out 2degreesfood.com. And then we ran down a list of the best places to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in California for our travel and tourism segment. Well, now it is time to talk Rhone varietals. And if you are not familiar with Rhone varietals, I didn't think I was. And then Ricardo, who's our social media extraordinaire person here to my left, he also happens to be my husband, was telling me that Syrah and Viognier are Rhone varietals.
I did not know that.
I didn't know that either. So we need to get someone on board here that really knows their Rhone varietals. David Gates, president of the Rhone Rangers Board of Directors. He's also the vice president of vineyard operations at Ridge Vineyards in Cupertino, I believe, is on the line with us. Welcome to the program, David.
Good morning. How's it going?
Good. I got that right. Cupertino, correct?
Yeah, home of Apple. And Ridge Vineyards.
Yes. So, so famous for their apples and wine.
Yeah, exactly.
So, who are the Rhone Rangers, and how did that name get started?
Oh gosh, it's been almost 20 years now, and they came up with the name Rhone Rangers because the Rhone varietals are grown all over the world, but they're not as well known as, you know, Chardonnay or Cabernet.
Right.
And there were a group of wineries that were passionate about these grapes and the wines made from them, and they decided to get together, and they came up with this crazy name, Rhone Rangers, because they're kind of out there alone fighting against the huge tide of other varietals out there.
Namely, what, like Cabernet and Chardonnay?
You got it, Cabernet, Chardonnay, and then, you know, maybe right behind that is Sauvignon Blanc for whites and Pinot Noir for reds. So they're fighting against that. And funny enough, I think it's been almost 20 years now, Randall Graham was had his photo taken with in a white suit with an eye patch and a cowboy hat and a white horse for the Wine Spectator, which is a wine magazine that's widely distributed in the States.
Yeah,
and that was like the beginning of the big fanfare of Rhone Rangers.
And they're the ones that called him the Rhone Ranger, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah,
that's very clever.
He owns Bonnie Doon, or he founded Bonnie Doon Winery in Santa Cruz.
Yes, and Randall is the first recipient of I don't know if it's going to be annual yet, but of the Rhone Rangers Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that he's still going to be achieving other things, but
right.
This is a great recognition, we think, for Randall, because he has this really, really good blended red Rhone wine called Le Cigar Volant, among other Rhone varietals that he has made for many years. But he's had this one for 25 years, Le Cigar Volant. And typical Randall and Bonnie Doon, it's a takeoff on a I don't know what you'd even call it. It's Châteauneuf-du-Pape is one of the main southern Rhone regions that produces Rhone wines in France.
Uh-huh.
And they actually have in their town charter a declaration against UFOs landing in Châteauneuf-du-Pape.
Oh.
So, no, seriously.
UFOs.
That's hilarious.
Randall, being Randall, named his wine, which is kind of an homage to Châteauneuf-du-Pape. It's it's Grenache and Syrah, Mourvedre, and a few other varietals mixed in. So he called it Le Cigar Volant, which in French means flying saucer.
Oh, I love it.
So, but that's Randall. He's a genius that way.
Very clever.
He's a great marketing guy, and
he really is.
And yes, and passionate about Rhone wine.
David, I have to say, I personally have not sampled one of his wines, but I sample his Twitter feed on a daily basis, and he's fantastic. He really posts some great, I highly recommend, if you're a Twitter user, looking up Randall Graham and then following him, because he's just got some great information.
Yes. So you have to try his wines, though. Yeah, well, you guys need to come to San Francisco on the 23rd of March, which is this next Saturday, for the grand tasting.
David, we'll talk about the grand tasting right out the other side of the commercial break. How does that sound? All right.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Randall.
We're speaking with David Gates right now, Rhone Rangers, president of the board. He also works at a winery as well as the vice president of vineyard operations at Ridge Vineyards. We're back in just a moment. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to decide?
This is Annie Lennox of Eurythmics for RAD. Please don't drink and drive, and don't drive if someone else has been drinking. Thank you.
A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Across the nation, people are stepping up for their mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, partners, sisters, and brothers. They're leading the way and walking to end Alzheimer's, the 6th leading cause of death in the nation. Together, we can reclaim the future. Walk to end Alzheimer's. Start a team. Join a team. Go to alz.org.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. $9:19 now the time here on this Sunday Funday morning, and Patty, the arguing has already begun on
we
this.
We heard raised voices outside on the street.
On this St. Patrick's Day. You know, some of the bars opened at 6 o'clock, and we're now 3 hours into that. And
not to mention, we don't know when the drinking began and ended yesterday for some of these who were standing outside the bars at 6 a.m. this morning in downtown San Luis Obispo.
Right. So there was a little disturbance. It wasn't much of anything, but we are we're high above downtown San Luis Obispo, and we sort of have a bird's eye view of all that's going on. And so
The shenanigans.
The shenanigans. Good word for today, Patty, on this St. Patrick's Day. Great to have you with us, everyone, and hopefully your St. Patrick's Day is uneventful on the negative side of things, but very eventful on the fun, family, and friend-filled side. Okay, so David Gates, president of the Rhone Rangers Board of Directors and the vice president of vineyard operations at Ridge Vineyards there in Cupertino, was on the line with us and still is. And right when we were heading into that commercial break, you were mentioning an event that is being held soon in San Francisco. David, what's that?
Well, it's the 16th annual Rhone Rangers weekend celebration of Rhone wine, American Rhone wines.
Oh, a whole weekend.
Yeah, well, it's Saturday and Sunday, or Friday and Saturday. There's this great winemaker dinner on Friday evening, and then a big grand tasting along with a couple of seminars on Saturday, all day Saturday.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, we were talking during the commercial break. We're getting in this education about these Rhone varietals. Is there a particular place in California, or are there places popping up across the U.S. where these specific types of grapes are grown? Or tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, they're grown all over, from Virginia to Washington State to, of course, California, and other areas too. New York even grows some. You guys are kind of in the middle of the Central Coast, which has garnered a really good name for growing these varietals.
Yeah, the Paso region. The Paso region seems to be big on it.
It's huge, and yes, in Santa Barbara too. Some of the oldest vines that are Rhone varietals grown in the state are in Northern California, like Sonoma County, Mendocino County, with Grenache and Carignan. But most of the Syrah and that type of grapes, and plus all the great white grapes that you can grow that are Rhone varietals, are really, really well done in that area in the Central Coast.
What are we looking at as a percentage, David? The Rhone varietals, as we mentioned in the previous segment, Cabernet is king in California, Chardonnay, as far as the whites go, taking up a big percentage of the grapes grown. But where do Rhones fall in all of that?
Yeah, they're definitely in the smaller percentages. I'd say around 5%.
Oh,
all
okay.
Wines, maybe a little bit more than that, but not a huge thing. But what's great about Rhone wine, well, many things that are great about wines made from Rhone grapes, Rhone style grapes. The main thing is, for me, is that they're really food friendly. They the whites are usually on the rich side, and they go with almost any kind of seafood, etc. And the reds are just melt in your mouth. Typically, they can go well. They just pair well with lots of different cuisines.
And Viognier would be the white people would be familiar with?
Yeah, that's probably the most known grape. It's actually I think it's the state grape, or wants to be the state grape in Virginia, of all places.
Oh.
It's really found a home in Virginia.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
And for the reds, Syrah would be the grape people know.
Yeah, but actually the most widely planted are two other grapes. That one is Grenache and one is Carignan.
Okay.
You never hear about Carignan because it's typically used in a blend, and it excels as a blender. And Grenache, there's some really nice Grenache, single varietal Grenache wines, but typically again it's blended.
Yeah, and I heard you mention Mourvedre also.
Yes, yeah. So and that's. That one is called Mourvedre, and it is probably its most common name, but its real name is Monastrell, and it came from Spain, which Grenache and Carignan did as well. Excels in the Mediterranean climate. When it first came to California 130 years ago, it was known as Mataro, which is one of its synonyms in Spain.
It's interesting when grape varietals have several different names they're known by. Syrah, another Rhone varietal, is one of those. Shiraz is how they say it down under.
Yeah, and if you go to Australia, they'll say it about 3 to 4 different ways, depending on where they are.
Really?
Shiraz. I don't know, you put a whole bunch of different tweaks on it. It's really funny.
And then it was interesting because it became so popular Australian versions of it were really selling here in California, and you started to notice some California producers switching the name on their labels to Shiraz.
Yes, and that was a way to try to look at wine styles. So you can make Syrah into that Australian style, which I would call it, which California can excel at as well, which is really ripe, bright fruit, softer tannins, and just a really kind of a gushy wine. It's really rich and jammy.
I love it.
Or you can make it more where it's leaner and maybe has a little bit more herbal or other notes. So it's not just all fruit; it's got other savory aspects going on. And that is more kind of mimicking of the northern Rhone, and cooler regions, Syrah grown in cooler regions. So, and that's one of the great things about Syrah, and one of its hard things, because you can make so many different wine styles with it.
I've been so bad, David, over the years, even though I've grown up in a wine tasting family in the North Bay and have been to, I could never even count the number of tasting rooms I've been to. I'm terrible at describing what I'm tasting.
Right.
But here, you said a word that has come up more times than not in recent years for me, and it's a wine that I like. Someone will say jammy, and I'll say, oh, I guess I like jammy wines because...
that resonates.
It resonates. Every time they say that, it's a wine I'm saying, I like this one.
Absolutely, and that's what, California does that really well. Washington State does that really well. You need a lot of sunshine, and then you just take that sunshine, let it get the grapes very ripe, and then take that into the winery and express it, and that's what you get. So
interesting.
Yeah.
So David, you were mentioning that some of the Rhone varietals don't share the same popularity that some of the other, especially for California wines that we think of as being very popular. Did they not get their start as early on? What accounts for that? Were they late bloomers?
Because we have the Mediterranean climate you were mentioning.
Yeah, it's hard to say, because I think the only grape that's actually recognized as being older than Syrah, as to pick a varietal, is Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir is at least it was probably older than 2,000 years when it was kind of discovered. Syrah, we think, is about 2,000 years old, plus or minus. There's a dude named Pliny the Elder who was writing about this new grape in Lyon, which is now Lyon, in the northern Rhone part of France, and that was Syrah, and that was almost 2,000 years ago. So yeah, so it's just it's not a huge region, and I think a lot of it has to do with Cabernet is king because the Bordeaux, which is where they grow a lot of Cabernet, was really smart in their marketing, and 100 years ago, and they sold to England, which was the powerhouse 100 and whatever years, 200 years ago, and so and the first serious wine drinkers in the colonies were all ex-British citizens or thereabouts, and that's kind of how it's through associations and through marketing. And so,
David, we only have a few seconds left. I'm guessing there at Ridge Vineyards you specialize in Rhone varietals.
Yes, we do. We have a little bit of Syrah and a Carignan, a varietal Carignan, and a Syrah Grenache blend that we like to make. Small amount of, but we love it.
Well, David Gates, president of the Rhone Rangers Board of Directors and vice president of vineyard operations at Ridge. More information at rhonerangers.org. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Randall. Thank you, Patty. Thanks for having me on.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to caluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. caluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Hello, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I want to tell you about my new favorite discovery, Yosemite National Park. I recently went there with my husband and children, and we walked the trails to see the breathtaking waterfalls, admired the grand meadows, and giant sequoias. But the future of our national parks is uncertain. Many challenges face our parks today, from polluted air and water to development threats outside their borders and inadequate funding to protect our national heritage. That's why the National Parks Conservation Association recently completed a decade-long assessment of the challenges facing our national parks, along with proposed actions that will ensure our children and grandchildren will be able to enjoy the parks as we have. Our national parks have inspired Americans for nearly 100 years. As we approach the centennial of the National Park Service in 2016, please join us in helping to protect our national park legacy. Find out how at www.mpca.org.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
This is Betty White. I know you don't need one more thing to worry about, but listen, high blood pressure can cause kidney damage, blindness, heart attack, stroke, and you can have high blood pressure even if you feel all right. 1 in 7 adults has it, but it's easy to get your blood pressure checked, and you can treat it if it is too high. So don't worry about it, don't ignore it, just see your doctor and check it out.
For your free booklet, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network. Here now is your fabulous host, Mr. Randall White.
9:33 now the time here on this Sunday Funday. You are listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio network on St. Patrick's Day. And hopefully you have your green on.
That's right.
Or you might be pinched. Do people
Watch
still
out.
do that, or is that something left over from my childhood?
I might find out today because I didn't wear anything green, so I'll let you know.
I think Patty purposely does that, just a little FYI. Our previous guest was David Gates, the president of the Rhone Rangers Board of Directors, talking about Rhone varietals here in California. And Patty was mentioning during the commercial break, we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the air, but if you don't want to be that person who follows the trends and
doing what everyone else does,
then you might want to have Rhone varietals on your table and tell your friends, hey, have you ever tried this?
You haven't heard of this? Oh, it's a Rhone varietal.
Right.
You don't know about this?
Not to mention the Rhone varietals seem to pair so well with our food culture here in California and also the climate. So
yes,
it seems like a good fit. All right, it is like I said, 9:34 now, and we have a resource in California that is unlike any other that I know of in the country. It's the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and if you haven't been there, or even if you have been there, there's always reason to return.
Yes.
Because they're constantly updating that place. And one of the newest updates hits this coming Saturday.
Yes.
On March the 25th, it will be the newly refurbished Otter exhibit.
So cool. They're so cute.
They are so cute. Joining us on the line right now is Ken Peterson. He is the communications director there at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and wonderful to have you on the show, Ken.
Glad to be with you on a Sunday morning.
Yes. So you're less than a week away. Is everything ready to go for the public to get their first peek at the otters in some time?
People can get their sea otter fix absolutely next Saturday. The animals are on the exhibit behind the scenes right now, getting acclimated to the new look, and seem to be doing well so far. We're going to have potentially 5 different otters, which are exhibit animals, that at any given time, we probably won't have all 5 out there, because some of them have behind-the-scenes jobs. They're all, the animals that we have were all rescued in the wild, can't go back to the wild, but some of them serve as surrogate moms for other stranded pups that we do hope to get back into the wild population. So we might have 2 or 3 of them on exhibit at different times. Sometimes there might even be a pup on exhibit for the mom. We've had that happen a few times in the past, and those are for pups that, for whatever reason, are not going to find a wild home, but may wind up getting a permanent home at another aquarium. So all that back up and running as of Saturday the 23rd.
Hey, Ken, on our live video simulcast stream that people can watch at eatdrinkexplore.com, we're showing a photo of a sea otter pup that's being fed. It looks like milk, the way you would feed a baby. So these are like rescue pups?
Right, because sea otters are a threatened species in California throughout the range, and during the winter months, when we often get our stormier weather, sometimes the moms and pups get separated, the pups get washed on the beach, and if we can't do a reunification with the mom, then we take it in as a rescued animal, assess it, and if we have a surrogate mother available, it's something that we've pioneered at Monterey Bay Aquarium, we'll have that otter behind the scenes raising the pup. Initially, we'll probably hand feed them, and I don't know if you can see in the picture, but the people on our staff who are caring for these animals will wear kind of a Darth Vader costume with a black poncho and a wellness mask, so that the animals never get the sense that humans are a source of care and comfort. Because once they're back in the wild, you don't want them swimming up to kayaks, you don't want them coming up to people who are swimming in the water or scuba diving or surfing. You want them to be wild animals that look at humans as a threat, not a friend.
Right. You don't want them getting attached to the humans. That makes sense. So, Ken, I used to live up in the Monterey area when my kids were, toddlers for 5 or 6 years, and we belonged to the aquarium. We used to go almost every weekend. And they were little, and they would just beeline to certain, exhibits that they liked. They liked the jellyfish, the leafy sea dragon. That was one of my favorites.
Oh, I love that one.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, the otters. That was a go-to stop every time. Is it still going to be that sort of 2-level viewing? You can see them from above, or you can see what they're doing underwater?
Exactly, the mezzanine where you can get the view from up top, and particularly can check out during the feeding and training sessions. That's the best viewing there. One of the improvements we've added, so that if you're down on the ground floor looking through the underwater windows, but want to know what's going on during the feeding, we've added some bigger video monitors, because on a busy day it can sometimes get really crowded there during those feeding and training sessions. And we've also added a number of other hands-on experiences to kind of learn more about how thick the otter's fur is and how that protects them against the cold waters in ways that blubber does for other animals like seals and sea lions. Number of things like that. So they'll have all of their favorites, plus a few improvements.
So I remember the sea otter fur. There was a little sample of it that you have to touch with the back of your hand because they didn't want it messed up with everyone's oils from your fingers. So is that display still there for the kids to learn more about the otters?
That'll be there. We've also got a marine mammal station with one of our volunteer guides. It has a bit of otter fur and some other items that they can touch and learn from. And one of the things that we added while the otters were off exhibit, but which is now going to be a permanent part of the otter experience, is an otter spotter station out on our back deck. Oh. And because a lot of the work that we do at Monterey Bay Aquarium not only is with the animals on exhibit, learning in the You still there?
Yeah, sorry about this. Hold on one second. Cora needs to. She's dialing on the wrong line. Sorry.
We're a little technical difficulty.
She's not there. Huh.
We are tracking animals in the wild with radio transmitters, and so you as a visitor can go out on our back deck. We have binoculars and telescopes and a staff and a station, and you can actually pick up with a receiver the radio signal of tagged animals whose behavior we're trying to monitor in the wild, and you can spot them just the way our researchers do. So that otter spotter station is a new feature at the aquarium as well.
Really cool. Now, Ken, is this at all in partnership with what Fish and Wildlife is doing or the USGS? I just recently saw one of the otter researchers in Morro Bay with the equipment, and she was tracking the otters in the water and documenting all the little things they were doing. Is it the same program?
We are part of this big collaboration among state and federal wildlife agencies, universities, and others, trying to figure out what's going on with the sea otter population, why they aren't recovering as quickly as everyone hopes, so that they can get off the threatened species list. And that tagging and tracking work going in down in Morro Bay is probably some people from the Monterey Bay Aquarium team who are down there, or folks that we are working in close collaboration with.
Okay, I was out there with one of, you might know Mike Harris from California Fish and Wildlife.
Yes.
So I was actually speaking with him, and he was there with the researcher. She was busy. We couldn't disrupt what she was doing because she was intently focused on the otter behavior. So I think this is a good opportunity then to mention for everyone who are doing your taxes out there, yay, tax time, right?
All day yesterday.
But so cool because on line 403, I believe it is, and 410, you can make a donation, which will help get your taxes in line if you need to do that still and get that tax break. You can make a donation to the Otters, and it helps these programs directly what Ken is talking about. Your donation goes. And this year, if that fund doesn't hit a certain mark, it's like $300,000 or something, it goes away. Oh. We won't have that on our California tax form. So just a little mention for the Otters. Check that box.
And I'll tell you what's really exciting. We've been supporting that from the beginning, and in fact from before the beginning, because it was a visit by a 6-year-old boy with his family to the aquarium, seeing our otters, hearing about the threats they face, that inspired his dad, then State Assemblyman Dave Jones, now State Insurance Commissioner Dave Jones, to introduce the bill that created that sea otter tax checkoff fund and a lot of other protections for California sea otters.
Wow.
So
that's
you never
so cool.
know what's going to happen when a kid comes there and falls in love with the otters and wants to do something. In his case, he looked at his dad, tears in his eyes, and said, "Dad, you've got to do something for the otters."
And so he did.
Said, well, I'm in the state assembly, and I can and I will. And he did.
That's awesome. And so we can all help. Just check it off, make a little donation, get the tax break, and then make sure that fund stays there for the otters.
Absolutely.
It helps that they're so cute.
It does.
Right.
So a lot of we're actually doing something on our website right now through our Facebook page called the Countdown to Cuteness. And
I saw that.
And you can go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium Facebook page and enter the contest. We have almost like a little advent calendar of otter drawings, and every day there's a picture or some video or a fact about sea otters. But you can also enter into the Countdown to Cuteness sweepstakes and potentially win a behind-the-scenes experience in the new sea otter exhibit going up top there. So I encourage folks to do that and check it out.
Now, Ken, are there different species of sea otter that are all included in this exhibit, or do we just have one California sea otter species that lives off our coast?
There's just one species in California. It's kind of a subspecies of the population up in Alaska. Mm-hmm. And actually, otters in their historic range stretched all the way from Japan and Russia around through the Aleutians, Alaska, down the west coast as far as Baja. But the ones that we have on exhibit are the California otters. It's about 2,800 animals in the wild, and hoping that they'll eventually occupy more of their historic range, and those numbers will grow.
And they live now primarily between Santa Barbara and San Francisco, or what's their range along our coast now?
Pretty much. I mean, there's some outliers farther north than San Francisco. They've seen them as far down south as L.A. Harbor and off the coast of Orange County. But those are the exception rather than the rule. Their numbers are beginning to expand more towards Santa Barbara around Point Conception, and that would have been in their historic range. So there's a possibility of seeing more of them in Southern California in the years to come.
We're speaking with Kent Peterson. He's the communications director for the Monterey Bay Aquarium. They're opening their refurbished sea otter exhibit this coming Saturday. Ken, if you don't mind staying on the line, I want to ask you a little bit more about next Saturday, and then also Monterey Bay Aquarium does a lot beyond the sea otters, specifically your Seafood Watch program. Do you mind sticking around through the break?
I'd be happy to do that.
All right. You're listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network. I'm your host, Randall White. Patty Piper, not in green, just to my left. We're back in just a moment. California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to CALUV.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. CALUV.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Hey, farmers market fans, listen up because we're launching a new show just for you. Join the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network each Thursday evening from 5:30 to 6 for a healthy dose of recipe sharing and food news. We broadcast our show live from the historic downtown San Luis Obispo Farmers Market, but the information shared is designed for anyone who has a love of fresh, seasonal produce and locally made artisan treats. So whether your favorite market is located at San Francisco's Ferry Plaza in downtown Santa Monica, or if you're simply a member of a CSA, you'll love our weekly Market Fresh, available live each Thursday evening at eatdrinkexplore.com. And if you missed the show, follow our updates on Facebook and Twitter for links to the recipes shared, video from the show, and other great information. Eat, Drink, Explore Radio's Market Fresh, helping perfect your California flavor.
Hi, this is Rick Moranis. You know, some people are more careful about what they feed their cars than what they feed their bodies. They know that the wrong fuel can hurt a car's performance and maybe ruin the engine. But the wrong food can have the same effect on your health. Too much fat, too many calories, and too little of what's good for you can affect how well you feel and even lead to serious illness. So eat right. It'll help you keep running smooth.
For more information, visit the Will Rogers Institute at wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575 and find us on Facebook and Twitter. Wayne Brady for the Will Rogers Institute.
Hey folks, I've got something that will truly revolutionize your life. It's called exercise. It will get you from here to there, allow you to spend time with your family and meet new people, cut inches from your waistline, and improve the quality of your life. Even help improve your self-image. Sexy. So when you've got to choose between moving around or lying on the couch, choose exercise. You won't be sorry.
For your free booklet, visit wrinstitute.org or call toll-free 877-957-7575 and find us on Facebook and Twitter.
California business owners, entrepreneurs, farmers, authors, and other professionals, this message is for you. We're looking to highlight those of you who give back to the community, care about the environment, and have the health of our state as part of your business model or focus. Our new California Love website is in the beta testing phase. So, during the next few months, we're offering free listings to qualified people or business entities. It's a win-win situation. You help populate our site with quality, locally owned California companies, and we help direct customers to your business or product. Simply head over to caluv.com. That's CA as in California, LUV as in a cute way to spell love.com, and enter the information for your business today. Why wouldn't you? It's easy and it's free. caluv.com, the California Love Business Recommendation Tool. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the final segment of the Eat, Drink, Explore Radio Network on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning here in California. Temperatures here where we broadcast from in downtown San Luis Obispo expected to reach 79 degrees. The rest of the state looking really nice as well, anywhere from the mid-70s to the mid-60s. The LA Marathon was this morning. And,
yes, it was.
One of the only places in this, or I imagine it's still going on, one of the only places in the state that has cloud cover.
I bet the runners were not upset about that.
No, I'm sure they liked it. So perfect weather for the runners, not too hot, not too cold. Patty Pyburn, my beautiful co-host, hello.
Thank you.
And a happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Yeah.
One last time to throw that down. We have on the line with us right now Ken Peterson. He's the communications director for the Monterey Bay Aquarium, where this coming Saturday, March the 23rd, the updated Otter exhibit will reopen to the public so people can see up close and personal these cute...
I love it. Countdown to cuteness.
Countdown to cuteness. So is this something, Ken, that people need to buy specific tickets for, or is it already sold out? Like, where do we stand on all that?
Like everything at Monterey Bay Aquarium in the exhibit galleries, it's included with admission, and you can get tickets online. You can pre-print your tickets so that if it happens to be, we're heading into spring break, which tends to be a little bit busier time. So if you have you bought your tickets in advance, printed it out, you just go straight to our ticket holders line and bypass anyone who's waiting to buy tickets. Of course, if you think you're going to come more than once in the year, a membership is the best option, and there's even one membership option that includes the whole family, either all the kids up to age 21, all the grandkids up to age 21, plus a possibility to get 2 transferable guest cards, so you can bring 2 other people with you who aren't on your regular membership, and that's a great way to go.
That's what we always did, too, and it was great when we had family visiting, and we would say, let's go to the aquarium.
Yep. And the one other good option for folks is a lot of the hotels on the Monterey Peninsula have packages, and they're the only ones who have these packages where you can get a 2-day aquarium ticket for a 1-day ticket price. So you can check at the local hotel and buy that if you're staying overnight in Monterey, on the Monterey Peninsula.
Ken, how old is the aquarium now?
We are going to start our 30th year in October.
Wow.
Believe it.
I still think of it as new.
I know, it's like, it does. I mean, we've got a great team of people who keep it looking brand new. And, of course, you were mentioning earlier, we're always refreshing it. We're always doing something new. So last year we opened a special exhibition called the Jellies Experience, which is kind of a summer of love take on jellyfish, a lot of exotic species, including ones that no one's ever exhibited before. In April, because you were talking food and wine earlier, we are reopening our restaurant and our self-serve cafe. And our culinary partner for the restaurant is Cindy Paulson of Mustard's Grill.
Nice.
And our new restaurant is Cindy's Waterfront. So it's really going to be Cindy's farm-to-table recipes, her whole sensibility around food, and that deep connection between the health of the soil, the health of the water, and bringing just great American comfort food to people. So it's her 30th anniversary, too, for Mustard. So it's kind of a neat collaboration that we're glad to be opening.
Yeah, Mustard's there in the Napa Valley, right on, what is it, Highway 29? Now I'm drawing a blank, but I know where it is. Right there by Rutherford, sort of.
Yep.
Yeah, so Cindy Paulson, just a huge name in Bay Area culinary cuisine. And the Monterey Bay Aquarium's always been closely connected with the food scene, it seems.
Well, certainly since our Seafood Watch program that you mentioned, we had an exhibit going back in 1997 where we were looking at seafood issues as they affect the health of ocean wildlife, and it made us realize that we needed to think more closely about that, because the impact of whether it's farming fish along the coast or catching wild fish has a big impact on overall ocean health, and that's what our Seafood Watch program grew out of. And that culinary link between health of the soils, the farm chemicals that flow into the ocean, and the health of the oceans themselves has really strengthened over the years. That's something else we've got coming up in May. We do our annual Cooking for Solutions celebration.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
3 days, including a big Friday night gala with celebrity chefs from all over the country. Lorena Garcia is going to be there. Art Smith, who used to be Oprah's chef, is one of the chefs, will be part of that. And that's a big tasting on all the food that we serve is organic or sustainable, whether it's from land or sea. We've got 60 or 70 wineries all pouring in the aquarium, and it's really quite a gala event. And then we do a whole series of other activities that are included with aquarium admission over the weekend, including cooking demonstrations and tasting opportunities. So food and drink are a big part of that, and we'll have the New Cindy's Waterfront restaurant to showcase as well.
Usually when you think about going to a large venue like an aquarium or an amusement park or anything that sort of will bring the whole family, your fare is hamburgers, hot dogs, French fries, but not at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. You have top-of-the-line
good stuff.
Sustainable food. I love it.
We do, and the self-serve cafe is going to be really incredible now, too, because you'll know immediately, literally when you're standing by the otter exhibit, you'll look and you'll see the ocean beyond the dining area. So everybody's got an ocean view seat, whether they're in the full-service restaurant or the self-serve cafe. We're going to have a pizza oven, be making fresh-to-order pizzas. You've got an open grill there. So it's almost like a demonstration kitchen to watch the salads being made or your burger being grilled from, like great Niman Ranch beef and the fresh pizzas and, all kinds of wonderful things. So we don't want to just make sure you're getting adequately fed. We want to make it as an extension of the quality of the experience you have when you're walking through our exhibit galleries.
Ken, your Seafood Watch program really took off. Were you expecting it to reach the level it has where so many restaurants, they'll put it right on the menu? Was it what was the big turning point? Was it the app?
Well, I think it was really people making a connection. It was like oh my gosh, they think about organic on the land, and you understand that if you use fewer pesticides and fewer chemicals, that the soil is healthier and everything is healthier. And people finally made that connection to the ocean, and Seafood Watch made it easy. It's like the traffic light recommendations. Green, eat this; red, you shouldn't eat this for now. Take a break, and then yellow is kind of go for it, but go cautiously.
Brilliant.
And we've made it easy with a printed card. We have an app for the iPhone and the Android that have over 1 million downloads. And then big businesses are adopting now as well. So the two largest food service companies in North America, both Aramark and Compass Group, have adopted Seafood Watch as their goal, and they're moving toward that. Whole Foods Market has changed its seafood that it's selling in the case, and they're using our guidelines and those of Blue Ocean Institute for the wild-caught fish. Even Mars, with its Shiba cat food, is now using Seafood Watch to guide the fish that it puts in the cat food, and they just announced that in the last couple of weeks.
Because pet lovers, they're animal lovers.
Right.
They are, absolutely. So and people can find it on our website and find out about the otters, and they can even watch the otters on a webcam starting next Saturday at MontereyBayAquarium.org.
Oh, good, the webcam's back.
Yes.
Yes, Ken Peterson, Communications Director for the Monterey Bay Aquarium. You can get more information online by going to MontereyBayAquarium.com, or you can just do a simple Google.
Yeah, exactly.
Is the easiest way to do it. Ken, thank you for joining us, and good luck with the reopening.
The reopening. Thanks, and look forward to seeing you there sometime down the road.
Sounds fantastic. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. Great to have you here.
You've been listening to the Eat, Drink, Explore radio program. If you missed any of our segments today, look for them online or through our free Apple and Android apps. Catch you back right here next week.